What up, everyone? JD, the Obsessed Hobbyist, coming at you today with a first part video. This is going to be the first part of, I think, 6 videos that we're going to do on the whole detail process of the Mach 1 and a little bit of my history and a little bit of what we got going on here. So to start out, I grew up with cars. I grew up with fast cars and big trucks in the driveway, as I tell most people. My dad restored cars. 68 Nova was the one I remember the most. I was 2 years old, I think, or 3 when he got rid of that car. And my uncle Doug and him used to drag race that car with another guy. And I still have pictures of me as a little kid trying to help him wash the car in the old driveway. And so my passion for cars has always been there. I grew up with a dad that did that kind of stuff, so naturally I kind of wanted to work on cars. And at 10, 12 years old, I just wanted to be in the shop. So my dad offered me a little job just cleaning the shop on Saturdays, and that's how I kind of got started. And then when I became 14 years old, I became a porter for him and hand washed cars and started to learn the detail process and paint correction and all the way up through high school. And as I got out of high school, I started to learn how to paint and paint cars and do all that kind of stuff, along with continuing my paint correction and nibbing cars out and getting rid of dirt nibs and things like that, and wet sanding and buffing and that whole process. Then I got into collision repair, full metal repair and collision repair, and did that for a decade. More than a decade. So I've been at it 20, 25 years. And as my body broke down, I kind of switched careers, but still have my passion and my love for cars. That'll probably never die. And so, I've been in quite a few Mustangs, actually. Did the mini truck thing for a long time. Built custom frames and custom audio systems and airbag kits and all kinds of stuff like that. And then got into Mustangs and some faster cars and, helped a buddy build an 800 horsepower Mustang. And when the S550s came along, and had a lot of fun with that. So owned a 2017 Mustang GT performance pack car that did a lot of modifications too, and had a great time with that car. Traded that for a 2018 GT350. Got to experience a Shelby, which is fitting because I have a daughter named Shelby, and figured I had to show up with that car one day, with her name on the front of it. So got to enjoy that car for a while, and then COVID hit, and it kind of had to make a financial decision on that one and move on. But a few years later, here we are, and able to buy another Ford performance car. We bought a 2022 Mach 1 with the handling package, elite packages, beautiful race red, wild color actually for me. I like some bright colors, but never saw myself in one. But the more the day it pulled out of the trailer and got delivered here, it was astounding. It was pretty awesome. But that leads me to the detail process. So I've always had a buddy of mine, Brad Wells, who I met 20 years ago probably when we moved out here. He lived across the street. Me and him hit it off. Car guys, he detailed cars. Didn't know the paint correction process at the time, so I taught him how to really paint correct a car and wet sand a car, and then he took that to a whole nother level and surpassed my skills for sure. So I always had him help come detail cars with me, but we're both getting up there in age, and he's had some knee surgeries and things going on and switched careers since, and it's hard to get us together to, and I don't want to bother him that much in detailing cars. So I was like, how do I do this on my own? And I'm going to have to pace myself across this, which is why we're going to do a 6 video series and over the next 8 weeks, and kind of space it out because I got a lot of back issues. So I got to take my time doing it, and just the available time that I have. I just don't have the time. This is probably going to be a 30 to 40 hour job, and I just don't have 30, 40 hours to be able to do that with my normal job. So we're going to do that over a series of weeks. But yeah, Brad, I was talking to Brad about how to go about this process, and I was always borrowing his tools and his compounds and pads and things like that. And I'm like, I need something that's kind of familiar to me. And what I mean by that is like when I was a kid and I was learning the detail process, we always used 3M products. In a body shop, pretty much most body shops I know use 3M products. And 3M used to always have a system. And that system was like this compound with this pad and this polish with this pad and this finishing glaze with this pad. And you could kind of mix those up a little bit, but really those guys did a lot of testing to create consistency in their paint correction process. And that's what I'm trying to recreate. Maybe it's not the best process or the best product, I should say. I don't know yet. I haven't used this one yet. This will be a first for me or Brad. But I chose this product because it was the most complete system I could find. I decided to go with the Griot's Garage Boss system, which included 2 polishers, all the pads needed, 4 different polishes and compounds, heavy cut, lighter cut, polish, and finishing glaze. And then have all the, iron remover, clay bars, and everything else that I need to go with the kit. The main detail process pretty much goes as follows. You really do a decon wash on the car, which I've already done. And it's just sitting at my brother's shop at this point in time. And then you clay bar the car with a spray wax with their Speed Shine. And then you get into the paint correction process and start with, in this case, we're probably going to have to start with a heavy cut. And that's where one of the videos, the second video will be about doing what the cut process, or the third video will be about what the cut process is going to be. I think we're going to have to go heavy cut on this car. It's got a lot of scratches on it. Mostly look like towel scratches from like the car sat a lot. It's a 2022, but it only has, I bought it with 2,195 miles on the car. So the car only got 500 miles a year on it, which means it sat a lot. And it looks like it was in a pretty dusty environment. So I'm thinking either the guy just tried to dust the car off or used one of those dusting like brooms on it, like the micro duster on it or something. Because it just looks like a lot of fine scratches all over the cars. It's in the sticker that goes on the hood. It's in the mirrors. It's on everything. Water spots very heavily, like nothing's been waxed or treated. So we're going to get into this car, and we're first going to get it clay barred, and then we're going to get it really heavy cut probably on the compound, and then we're going to have to step it up to a little bit lighter compound. I don't know this product yet, so sometimes even from a heavy cut you can go to the polish. I don't know if I can do that. Their heavy cut seems to be pretty nice in the fact that it doesn't swirl a lot. It kind of just leaves a haze, and sometimes the polish, depending on the clear coat that's on the car, can take that glaze off. But we'll have to see. I'll have to test the product out. And then we'll finish glaze it, and then we'll go into a full ceramic coat. So the Griot's Garage system is going to be the full paint correction system. For the ceramic coat, I chose Gtechniq. And I chose that for a couple of reasons. One, for everybody's talks about the ease of use of Gtechniq ceramic coat products compared to other ceramic coats and how they apply. My friend Brad has used quite a few ceramic coats, and I've at least used their wheel coating on an F-150 set of wheels on my Black Rhino wheels. It applied very easy, wiped off very easy. Everything came out very clean and spot free. There were no marks in it or anything. Sometimes some ceramic coats can leave different marks, and these were on a satin wheel, so those would show up a lot. It left none of that. It was very evenly coated. They looked beautiful, and even in winters like we're having in Northern Illinois right now, where my wheels would be completely white and covered in salt, I could literally just take a hose and rinse them off. It was a pretty amazing coating. So I'm going to do that same wheel coating on the Mach 1 wheels. And then we're going to use G-Technique's Exo and Serum Light to do a two-step ceramic coat on the rest of the car. The other addition that I'm going to do is a trim restoration. The trim restoration is something me and Brad kind of like stumbled onto this and tested. I did it on my Ford Maverick, which has a lot of bare plastics like around the bed and the rear bumper and the front bumper and side skirts. I did it on my original blue 2017 Mustang GT because it has a lot of bare plastics around the bottom. And the thing I noticed was that the front tires were kicking up a lot of rocks on the rockers, and the rockers were turning white. I mean, in the first 5,000 miles. And I was like, man, it doesn't look good. It looks like crap. I want it to look better. So how do we do this? And my friend Brad was like, hey, I use this stuff called Solution Finish, which is like a back to black kind of thing. It's almost like a shoe polish. It has a type of dye in it. I was like, I wonder if we can ceramic coat over the top of it and lock it in. And on my blue car, we put the Solution Finish on. We let that dry for 24 hours, 2 days. And then I came back out and used a Technician's Choice ceramic coat on it, which is a pretty light ceramic coat. It's not a super hard ceramic coat, but it's like really easy to work with, and you can use it on all surfaces. It doesn't damage any plastics, headlights, or anything like that. So I let the Solution Finish dry and cure. I came in with the ceramic coat. I traded that car off 2 years after doing that, 2.5 years after doing that. And then the guy I got it from, I became good friends with. And he had the car for another couple years, and all of those plastics still look brand new when he sold the car. My Maverick right now is 2.5 years in on its Solution Finish and ceramic coat, and all the plastics will clean up just like brand new. So I am going to do that same process on the Mach 1. It has a huge front splitter on it. Side skirts, the rear lower valence on the rear bumper that goes around the exhaust pipes and everything, that's all bare plastic, the textured plastic. So we're going to do the same process on all of that stuff to really keep that stuff looking, black and looking rich, and protect it and keep it from turning white. So this is going to be our process. It's going to take a little while, but I think the car is going to turn out really good. I'm really excited about it, honestly. Like I always said, if I could get paid a lot of money to buff cars, that's what I'd do for the rest of my life, because the finishing product, like even when I was painting them, that's nice, but it's like when I was finishing cars and washing them and cleaning them and doing the final paint correction on them and getting to give the customer the final product, that was always the most joy I had in working on cars for somebody else, I should say. I don't like cleaning cars myself anymore. It's a real pain in the butt with my back problems and things that I have going on. I got a lot of discs in my back that aren't great. Bending over and trying to wipe a car off all the time is just not possible sometimes. I have my good days and my bad days, and I've been working out 4 days a week trying to work on that and go through that process. And I'm getting better, but it's not going to be perfect. So I need to make the car easier to clean for car show season. We want to take it to a lot of shows. I want to cruise the car a lot and drive the car a lot. I love to drive my cars. When I traded off my first Mustang, my blue car, that had 16,000 miles on it, I think. The GT350 had 13,000 miles on it. Both those cars seen multiple track days, multiple autocrosses. The GT350 even saw a trip out to Utah and back, which I would like to replicate with my wife. At the time, I did that trip with my friend Neil, but I'd like to replicate that trip with my wife. And we took the car up Pikes Peak and everything, so I'd like to do that same trip with the Mach 1 and have her enjoy that trip with me. So I'd like to be able to drive the car. I want to protect it as much as possible. I want it to be looking as clean as much as possible. And so we're going to make this thing as slick as possible with the help of Griot's Garage and G-Technique products. Yeah, that's about all I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoy this video. Please subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notifications button. come back to the channel. Like I said, we're going to be going through this process together. So if you want to follow along and come through the process, please hit that subscribe button. These videos are going to be coming out every couple of weeks probably. I'm going to try to launch them midweek sometime. Trying to get this schedule down. This is all kind of new. I've done the little shorts and things like that, but trying to get acclimated to really posting some good YouTube videos. Something that's informational. So that if you're trying to get into paint correcting and you're trying to do this yourself, I think this is going to be a great DIY kit that will be very consistent, repeatable across multiple cars. You know, like I got enough product to do multiple cars, so if it comes out good on the Mach 1, then I'm going to do my Maverick also. It's due again for a redo, and probably my wife's Ford Fusion also. So yeah, and you guys can come along for the entire process and hit that. Don't forget to hit that like button. All right, see you guys. Peace.